Living in Kuna, Idaho might be the best choice you make. Me and my wife moved here, so I'm speaking from experience. A lot of other people have decided to make Kuna home as well. So let's help you figure out why Kuna is a good choice, what you might be missing out on, how some of you might not fit into Kuna and what to watch out for, how it's going to be different in 2024, and of course, how it can make you happy. Why is Kuna so great? Well, for starters, me and my wife recently moved to Kuna, and it was always at the top of our list. We would look in Nampa, where it is affordable, but the homes would not be in the best area or would be more run down than we would have liked. Then we would look in Meridian, and it felt like we were paying twice as much for something not as nice, but in a great area. Kuna was the only place we would look where it was both a nice area, although for some of you that may not be the case, and the homes were nice and something we could afford. The housing here is just cheaper than other parts of Boise. For example, the median home in Kuna is hovering around 425,000. If you go over to the north side of the valley in Star, which is a very comparable suburb, the median home value is around 570,000. Or in Meridian, which is right in the middle of the valley, the median home here is 520,000. That's a $100,000 difference. Would that help you with your kids' college or investing into retirement and be worth a slight change in location? Now, it isn't all about the money. Me and my wife had Kuna on our list for a few other reasons I will go over later when we talk about why some of the people might not fit into Kuna. But in general, the people here are awesome. Everyone smiles and waves. We constantly have genuine conversations and connections with people here. Do you have that where you live now? And wouldn't it be great to feel safe and welcome wherever you live? When me and my wife go for a walk at Indian Creek downtown, we stop at Ridley's to go do some grocery shopping, or if we go to dinner at our favorite Mexican restaurant here, which is Enrique's, people stop us and ask us about our day, what brought us to Kuna, and it is more frequent than when I lived in Nampa or when my wife was living in Meridian, and we love it here. My wife is constantly telling me how happy she is that we moved to Kuna, and I would agree with her. Plus, for you husbands watching, you can't go wrong with making your wife happy. Now, there are of course things that don't make Kuna a good place for everyone, which we will talk about, because me and my team, we want to make sure that when you're moving to Boise, you make the right decision and are fully prepared and happy with your move here. As a Boise local and real estate agent, I post videos every week to try and help you with that decision, and we get reach outs all the time to help people further in that journey. So subscribe to the channel if you want to learn and be prepared for your move to Boise. And of course, text or call me anytime. I would love to further help you in that process, especially for some of you who end up liking Kuna, where I might get a run into you at the store or you walking at Indian Creek, which I would love to happen. Indian Creek is a nice walking trail here that may not be the Boise River's greenbelt like you do get in Star or Eagle or Boise, but it does make for a nice little spot to spend some time outside. And as I've been out and about, I have really noticed just how much Kuna has grown. When I was a kid or in high school here, I rarely came out to Kuna, but it was always that tiny town that no one really went to. That has changed a lot. And now there is a Ridley's, an Albertsons, Bi-Mart, a D&B Supply with a ton of brand new fast food places, shops, and restaurants. We're also having new communities being built out here, left and right. One of my favorites being Sterling Ranch, where there's beautiful homes, walking paths, and it's only 100 feet away from Ridley's and all of the fast food shops and things that have come to Kuna. You're 100 feet away from Kuna High School and Meridian Road, which you are only about 20 to 30 minutes away from everything that you would want in Boise. And you do have everything you need here. But if you don't live in Kuna, there's other things that you would be missing out on that I believe are very important. Kuna is growing fast, which increases the demand and it raises the home values. But more than that, there is an $800 million data center coming to Kuna in 2024. Along with a lot of new commercial and residential development making their way out to Kuna. And at the end of the day, our homes are an investment And if you can live in an amazing place like Kuna and better your financial future, it is a big plus. So not living here has the potential to make you miss out on some investment and growth. And me and my wife didn't want to miss out on either of those. Now, before we go into why Kuna isn't great for everyone, let's quickly take a look at some of the best places to live in Kuna. The people and community here makes my wife happy, but where you live in Kuna is the last thing to ensure that you feel right at home here. I mentioned Sterling Ranch, which is a great option, but for those of you who want to be a little bit closer to Meridian and Boise and all of those amenities that Kuna doesn't have, there are some awesome communities right on the border of Meridian and Kuna. You have Prevail, which my team has a listing here, and it's a beautiful home. These are all technically Meridian addresses, but they give you 5-minute access to the interstate while still being halfway to Kuna, so you have that smaller town feel. The other top 2 neighborhoods in Kuna itself are going to be directly across from Ridley's, called Ashton Estates. It's very similar to Sterling Ranch, and then the last one is 2 miles away from the main city center and a little bit closer to Meridian to shorten up that drive. I have friends that have lived there and loved it. And you're surrounded by farmland now, at least for now. It's probably going to go away here in the next few years. While you still have that quick access onto Meridian Road, you're only about a quarter of a mile to get onto Meridian Road for your commutes into Meridian and Boise. And this is called Patagonia, and it's a great option that you can't go wrong with. My wife and I have talked about moving into one of these 3 that I specifically named when our family grows out of our current home. Now, it isn't all good for everyone, and the reality is some of you might not fit in, or Kuna might not fit your family. I mentioned those 30-minute drives, and although it isn't far for me and my wife, it can be draining to drive into Boise for work or events every day or a few times a week and have that 30 to 40-minute drive. You might want the walkability of downtown Boise or the central location of Meridian. And although we do have Ridley's and Albertsons, me and my wife still do have to drive into Costco or Winco and Meridian, which is about a 15-minute drive. The other side of Kuna that some people don't like or feel out of place is the political and small town environment. Kuna is small and there isn't a ton of people. It's about 35,000 people right now. You're not going to have the village at Meridian, the Greenbelt, all of the restaurants and events in Boise. You're going to have your cows and farms and horses as your next door neighbors, at least for a little while, and it might smell like cow crap every once in a while. It's a small town, Republican, and very conservative area of Boise, and for some of you that might just not be the right fit or what you're looking for. Now, knowing all of the information on Kuna won't matter if you don't compare it to Star, Idaho, which you can learn about in this video here, so that you see a very similar suburb with some key differences, and you should definitely check that one out. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it, and I look forward to chatting with you in person.